Let me say this, Lance. I saw this coming back in the 80s. I used to work for the U.S. Postal Service also. And we used to manually separate the mail and stuff. Then they bought the machines in, the computers where you had to download it and program the machine. That took away a lot of clerks' jobs. I've been seeing this coming.
Right.
I've been seeing it coming. See, they have replaced us for the machines. Now they're replacing us with AI. And I want to know how this is going to work with their religion. Because they have the AI go deliver their religion message.
Well, they're putting in all the restaurants, the fast food joints now. So there won't be, they're putting in all the fast food joints soon. They're starting it already. They don't have to pay anybody.
Exactly. So, that's the name of the game. Always trying to, and another thing, we better watch out for these illegal immigrants. They are bringing them over here. They're going to send them to the war. They're not going to send our people anymore. They're going to use them to go to the war.
Wow. That's a thought. That's something I never thought about. That's why they give them all this free stuff to get them over here.
Exactly. So it won't be on them. But it is on them because they are bringing them, they're letting them come in here. And it's
what they going to do with us?
They're going to replace us with them. They genocide. And I learned this when I was in law school. It's too many people for them to control. And they're coming under this new world order where America has messed up. They didn't only treat us like this. They treated the whole world like this. When they were sending our jobs over there to China and around, they had no business doing that. Now they want to bring the jobs back. They're not going to get those jobs back.
That's true.
America is gone. America is gone. It's doomed. It's doomed. America don't have any more allies. They over there in Africa now trying to get them to get on board. BRICS have done a job on them. And I remember when, let's recall this, I remember when Obama was in there. Okay? When Obama was in there, it just, they didn't like that either. They did not like that, but I have to give our people credit because we was going downhill when Obama was coming there. He came in and bailed us out. They don't want to give us credit for anything. They've taken all of our history and turned it into them. Every last one of us. Adam and Eve, white. Everybody's white. And there wasn't no white here first. We was the original and still are the originals. That's
so
why
how you
they
feel
hide
about
your
Putin?
history.
How you feel about what Putin said?
Putin said that he would never worship another white Jesus. Blonde hair, blue hair. That's what exactly I called him too. Blonde hair, blue eyes, pale face, white man. He'll never
This a
represent
white
him
man
against
saying
me.
this.
Putin said it. I posted it out there. Now they tell me I can't say the postings anymore. You know what? This is what I was calling you to tell you. You can still save them. Get your backup.
Of course. Of course.
That's what I'm finna do. That's what I'm going to do. Everybody got us around here. We think we all of that, and we still working for the master. I had this preacher. That's probably why they coming at me again. He's on there, and he claimed he's what they call that? Oh my goodness, what did he call it? Oh, I just came back from walking. I'm tired. This doesn't make any sense. This definitely doesn't make it. The handwriting is on the wall for America. America's gone. It's so gone. Now I look for Africa to take over this. This is what I'm looking at. Africa finna take over.
Well, see, you know what? Sadly, that's why they want to position themselves to take over Africa. You see? You see, with South Africa being dominated still by Caucasians down there for the most part. They have a lot of token people. North Africa is dominated by a lot of Arabs. So that leaves Central and West Africa. But we're being exploited, not 100%, but for the most part, because some of the leaders are compromised and they're just as bad than the Caucasians that want to take over because they're selling out for the riches, for the money, for them and their family and their circle. But there are leaders who are changing things around. But I don't know if it's enough to turn the tide, but the population here is booming. This is where all the resources are, and a lot of people over here are waking up to what's going on and realizing they have something that's valuable as far as the resources and the positioning. Me right now, I'm living on the equator. Anything and everything grows. To be independent of depending on somebody else to import stuff into you like it is in the United States, in the West, and the UK, come right here to the source and get your own. But they're brainwashing us hard, having us fight over our identity to say, oh, I'm indigenous to America. I have nothing to do with it. I'm FBA. I'm ADOS. I'm not this. Listen. We can be who we are, but we should have something. It's the best business move to have dealings with Africa. How can people see? They got us all wanting to be. I'm not saying you or I or all of us,
right,
but the great majority of us, we have an identity problem, and they're using social media to keep that thing going. So we're fighting and rolling around in the dirt. And we all should be getting together, whether we were born in what they call America now. I got no problem with that because the whole planet is Africa. We were here first. I
say that
so
too,
why are we arguing?
I say that
we were
too.
Here first. So if we came up in America, came up in South America, came up in any part of the world, and we're melanated, we should not be separated.
We're
that's like
okay.
That's like you now. Let me just say, that's like you having 9 brothers and sisters, right? 4 sisters and 5 brothers, and y'all move to different states or different parts of the world. Aren't you still related? Listen up, family. If you got this far in this show, that means you're enjoying it. And if you want to hear more, click the link in the description area below to listen to the rest. The reason being, it was too hot for most social media platforms. So you're going to have to go to that link, and you're going to hear so much more because we said things and spoke about things that these platforms would definitely penalize me for. You know how it goes. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the show, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yes, you are.
You're still related.
Yes,
so what are you arguing about the land for when we're the original on the planet?
Let me tell you what the name of the game is. They are scared. They are actually running scared because once we find out, they have no more control over us. They're scared of losing power.
Right.
If they lose power, they lose money.
But you're absolutely right. But what power do they have? They have the power off of our ignorance.
Exactly.
If we take control of what is ours under our feet and have a unified mind and a unified front, like Malcolm X said and wanted, it's a game over overnight. If all of us in the motherland who had power and those who didn't have power but took power,
yes, they did.
Overnight, with the young population here, these are not older folks here. Yeah, we have older folks, but it's a young population that's sucking from the wrong nipple of indoctrination. We're not truly being educated here.
They don't want my generation and your generation around because we can still tell the story. They want us to be ignorant.
Right. Exactly.
That's why they want to turn us
against each other. But see, that's why they also feed into social media that, them Africans over there don't like us. And they're trying to keep us apart. But I will say, because many who are here are intoxicated with the allure of the Western world and the amenities and how good it looks on social media. Look, let's get adult here. But I'm not going to get indecent. A man's at the club. He's looking for a woman. It's 10 o'clock. All the women look good, but he can't get too many. By the time 4 o'clock in the morning comes and he's drunk out of his mind, the ugliest woman looks good. And he goes home with her. You see
Come
what I'm
on now.
saying? So
Yes,
so
I
so
do.
so now they're so drunk with the illusion of how America is on social media that when you ask anybody here, oh yes, I want to go to America. Yes, I had to talk. I talk to brothers every day. I got brothers coming here to my house working every day. We still building things and doing things, and I have conversations with these guys. And hands down, I say, listen, you can go visit, but look at what you got over here. Don't you understand? Why do you think so many of us are coming over here?
This is not the
Away from
land
all of
of
that
the
stuff.
free. This is not the
Right,
land of the free.
right.
They
And but
recognize that
see,
when they get here too.
but I'll tell you so much too. They're not free here as long as they think the way they do. And they don't want to
Exactly.
stop the way they're thinking. They're bombarded with all of this imagery. They're not pushing the homelessness on social media over here. They're not pushing the mass drug addiction and how they're bringing in other people for other purposes. They
And
think
they
that when
bought
they
the
see
drugs
somebody,
in here. I told my
exactly,
mother this when I was younger, sitting there watching this stuff. I said, we don't have money to bring no drugs in here. That's them doing it.
but see, they can't understand or see the overall. They can't see it because of the lust for what they think a Western living is all about. See?
What do we
And they
go
come
do?
over here, they come over to America and end up having to work, get the pay, and they're only like a middleman or middlewoman. You understand? They're not really getting the benefit, and they get a
No, they're
taste of it,
not.
and they say, "Hey, wait a second." They don't realize that you can put $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 down on a luxury vehicle with good credit and drive right on off the lot. They think you just driving off easy, big homes
Mm,
easy. No, you paying a
mm,
mortgage, and they'll kick you out if you don't pay
exactly.
after a few months. They'll repossess your vehicle. You think you're gonna go
Exactly.
there and get a free education when you get a loan and pay? That thing is gonna ride you behind for the rest of your life. You better get a
I'm
job.
not. I'm not,
Wait,
because
right,
guess what? I had Obama paid for my education. I got something out of
right,
him being in there.
right. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing, as you should. But remember how many people didn't. And the job market, you know how many people got master's degrees working in KFC and McDonald's? I'm not
Yes.
knocking KFC and McDonald's. All work is edifying, but how can you go to school to get to such a level of education and the only option for a time? I'm not saying for everybody, but too many. Too many.
Yes, it
It's
is.
ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
But
Yes, it
see,
is.
the America you know is not the America they show abroad. You see,
You're right.
so we run away from over here where we have all this potential to live a great life. Regardless, there's corruption here. Don't let me lie. I'm not saying it's
It was built off
utopia.
of corruption.
But I'm gonna tell you something else. There's enough YouTube influencers who are trying to turn American black people away from coming over here. That's another thing I see. That's why I can't
Okay.
mix and meld with everybody. They got too many
Okay.
people trying to say how bad, oh, this can happen and this will happen and they'll turn against you. And things have happened, yes, but it has happened because you didn't do your business right.
Hmm.
I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm
So
here.
am I. Well, I'm
You see
trying
what
to
I'm
get
saying?
somewhere.
Right.
I'm
You're
trying to
going to get
figure
there.
out how am I gonna move my stuff over there and how to go get my stuff, get me a place to stay. Cause this is unreal here. But all of this land fixing to come back. The Most High is working it around. I still say that I'm not an atheist. I do believe there is a creator, and I know
Of
we
course.
are creators because we the one create these babies. We the one built this thing up here. We are the creators. They just stripped us of who we are, and with
Right.
their religion, teaching us white men. When I was 12 years old in that Bible reading that, I said, "Oh, they gonna be shocked when they get there and see you look just like me." Now what they gonna do? And this Trump we got around here, that's a disgrace to the human race. I'm serious. He
It
doesn't
is.
he doesn't even know how to hold the Bible. They ain't trying to sell the Bible. He need to be reading it.
You ain't
Thugs.
lying.
They are nothing but thugs. The hate you give, that's what that is.
Wow.
They they ought to stop. That's why they want Trump in there. They want to take you back. When he say "Make America Great Again," take you back where you come from. No, that's not where I come from.
Right? Exactly. Of human interaction.
That's not where I come from. So he can't classify us with that. Not this generation. And I stands up for me, and I'm push black too. They got my back out there, but I can't get with this. I have the cell phone internet. Cell phone email, and I have my internet email, which I had way before I got the telephone. Okay, right. They trying to say that I'm not that person. I've been out here for years. The school, when I was in the university, they had us to go out and sign on to Facebook. Okay.
Right.
That was when I was in school. I got my degree in 2018. I think I got it in 2018. And I learned exactly what's going on here. And we was taught not to say anything. I say if you're in my circle and you look like me, I'm going to tell you whether you want to accept it or not. And they have us, they brainwashed. They brainwashed us with that religion. We have to detox because that is not accurate. We are the gods and the goddess of this earth.
Tell it.
We are.
But we're looking for everything
black,
on the outside.
And if you start in Genesis, and that's and all of their little stuff has hidden secrets and meanings in it. Okay, if you read that book with an understanding, it said it was black before it was light. They have us thinking that we sinned. We didn't sin. They the ones sinned. See, we didn't sin. Wasn't no Adam and Eve. Those three black, the mother, the Trinity, the Mother, the Father, and the Son. Okay, I can't get it just right now because I'm still trying to unwind from walking. But what I get out of that is, Adam and Eve wasn't white; they was black, and I always had a problem with this. And I don't think it was no Adam and Eve. It was Horus. Help me here. Horus. It's three of them. The lady, Horus is the daddy, and the mother, and then you had the child. What's the name of those three people things they showed? I can't think of it. But we're the true heirs to this land. And it wasn't. And I used to post it out there. I used to post it out there about Horus and I can't think of her name. But they showed them, and they was. The trio, the Trinity, it's us. Right. It's us. See, and when you start talking about Adam and Eve and all that, wasn't no Adam. It wasn't no Jesus because there wasn't no J's in the alphabets. There was no J's.
I love how the pastors try to work around all of that.
Because they go to school. They go to school to do it. They go to school to be taught that.
Like used car
This is what I was going to tell you a while ago, Lynn. Hold that thought. This is what I was going to tell you a while ago. This man that was on this so-called preacher, and he's what they call that when you they put a black folks that discriminating stuff. And he came at me, and I told him he was just a gatekeeper to keep our black people in line. I said, you just a gatekeeper for the master to keep our black people in line. That's what religion is. And that's when they start coming at me. I don't care. I'm telling the truth. So you can sue the preacher for lying to you. They don't tell you that. You can sue the preacher for lying. That's malpractice. They got insurance. And when we wake up, that's what we need to do. Sue the preachers for lying to us. See, that's what we need to do. We'll break it down. That's why they bringing in the AIs.
Yeah. You're right.
So you won't be able to sue them again. Oh, this stuff been going on since 18-something. It's time up. And I think the universe is tired just like we are. And we have to get a backbone.
Well,
And we got to stand up to
that's
them.
for sure. Yeah.
We do. We have to get that backbone and stand up to them. And I think this is where it's all fixing to come into play, and they know it. You know, you can't hide three things: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Now, what do you think about this this total eclipse we just had?
Well, I think that social media has been used to hype up a lot of false narratives to take us away from the spiritual aspect of it. It definitely means something, but I think we were pointed in the wrong direction with so many conspiracies that they will put out, and we run with it and run with all of it too. Instead of saying, hey, wait a second, let me sit back and see what this means on a spiritual level, and how does this put us ahead? It was all of this doom and gloom and fear put out there. You know, back in 2000 or back in 1999, they were saying how when the year 2000 comes, all the computers are going to malfunction and missiles are going to go up in the sky, bombs and things going to explode. So we're looking for that, but we missed out on something, you see? And the same thing. I mean, in the heavens, there's signs that mean something on a higher level. We're caught up in the flesh, in our bodies, in our lust. Oh, I'm hungry, or I'm tired, I want to go get something to eat, I'm sleepy, I got to go do whatever it may be. But we don't look beyond, because we're going to throw these bodies down one day and it's going to go back to the soil.
That's and we what don't they call critical thinking. We don't do critical thinking.
Exactly.
We don't do it.
Exactly.
We just go with what they tell us. And you know what? I say it again, and I keep saying it. Politics and religion is very dangerous.
Big time.
Now, once we detox, we'll be all right. And I hear it up in detox once I learned this in school. My teacher said, she hollered at me one day and told me to get my feelings out of it. I told her, God didn't make Adam and Steve, he made Adam and Eve. I knew something was coming down when they, I be talking. She told me, get my feelings out of this. She hollered at me in front of the whole class, and she put some books out there for me to go read. And she said, you here to change some things. I said, yes, I am. And she said, you need to go to Harvard. I said, why do I need to go to Harvard? I have SMU right here, and I can read my own books. I have an understanding of what I'll be reading, and I always had a problem with that Bible. I always had a problem because it started out with, okay, that's what I was saying, Genesis. If you turn Genesis around, that's ISIS generation.
Wow.
Come on now. You spell Genesis and spell it backwards. ISIS generation, and ISIS is still here. That's the female. That's it. ISIS, horrors, and what's that little boy's name? It wasn't no Jesus. See, and what we gonna do with this Jesus? That's a like-minded. You're supposed to think like him, not be like him. And that's another problem I had with that religion. They never tell you Jesus went in there and tore down those tables and stuff in there that they was misusing. They don't tell you that. But it's in that Bible. I learned that Bible. Whether I do it, I know it. I didn't have a choice. But when I learned better and I started changing my lenses, my perception changed. I had to detox. I had to get all of that out of me. And I said, I'll do the universe.
You had to get that spiritual mucus out of you. You had to get that spiritual mucus out. You had to get that spiritual mucus out of you.
Yes, I did.
So you could breathe clearer, see everything for what it is.
That's what that's going to take for all of us, and that's what they're afraid of.
Right.
You have no more control over us. This is too long anyway. They want to know if I'm going to go for Trump or Biden. I said, I'm not voting for either one of them. They're too old. We need somebody young like Obama was in there. He wasn't no good either, but hey, he did come in there and took us out of what we was in, and Trump, they brought him back in here. How you go bring somebody in here that can't control his own affairs to run a whole country?
That's the truth. But see, we as a people, we need to not wait for an elected compromised official. Each one of us has so much power that supersedes the physical body beyond us. A lot of times we minimize the power that we have.
Yes,
that we let the
external
intimidate us. We let the external
we give our power away.
Oh, we give it away, but see, we give it away not knowing what we are giving away. We don't think we have it, but we give it away and they take it and use it against us.
This is what I can't understand. Now, don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm just hypothetically saying
I read you loud and clear all the time.
How you go tell me to read a Bible and tell me thou shalt not, when all the thou shalt nots you do? What God are you serving?
I agree. And it's not only a thou shalt not for them, it's thou shalt do. Whatever they tell us not to do, they do.
They do it. Now that's contradicting itself right there. They're killing up all these people around here, and I'm looking at how they doing over here in America. We having tornadoes, flooding, and everything. Let me trip you out. Month before last, I got a bill for $1,200 for 1 month on a light bill. I'm on Social Security disability. They go take my whole check to pay one bill? Are you serious? This is how they redline you. Now, I know where the problem coming from. They're coming from, they think we don't know what time it is. They built a 2-story home behind me. They're taking their bill, giving it to me. I'm waiting for all of this to come out. I have my congresswoman off in it. I done put the utility commission off in it. I put the, who else is that I did? The state representative off in it. And this company, the Just Energy, is a trip. They want me to believe I've accused that bill. Now, they didn't know I had bought generators and I bought the Echo Flows. I have 5.
That's smart move.
My bill would be paid, and I wake up and my food was coming out of my freezer. I couldn't understand why. But I don't get food stamps. I had to sacrifice to get my food, and I was going to Sam's. That's how I got this electric company. And I've noticed for the last 2 years, every time it's time for me to renew Sam's, I get a bill my butt can't cash. Well, I'm not paying that bill, and I refuse to pay it. And I got the congresswoman back in on it, and I have to call her back tomorrow. Because I never got the letter, and if they email me, they need to tell me which day they emailed me on, so I can do what I need to do. And the city of Dallas said they took it back where they can't pay those kind of bills no more. And they've been calling me saying this is not right. I know it's not right, but they want me to think that I'm cuckoo, and that's why you don't underestimate people, because you don't know who and who know what. Do your job. That's all I ask you to do. Do your job. Now, I have never had a bill like that. I said, we haven't even had a winter like that. Now, why am I looking at a $1,200 bill? One of the supervisors told me to go and borrow the money. I said, I should have asked her, well, then you loan it to me.
For real.
If you want me to borrow it, then you loan it to me. See, the woman over the utilities go tell me, well, when I talked to you Friday, you were sounding so good. I said, yeah, but this is going too long, and you're not doing anything about it. See, and I have problems with this. I'm waiting on them to get in touch with me tomorrow and I'm getting in touch with them in the morning because I'm not paying that bill. And they done sent me another disconnect notice. I'm not paying that. This is where they do our people. And until we know what time it is, they're going to keep duking us.
They'll never stop.
I'm going to sit here. Who the fool? If I'm the fool, if I'm going to give you all my money, I caught them one morning. I was on the internet and the lights went out. But I had my cell phone working in. I politely called them on my cell phone and asked them, are you serious? When I call them and they answer and I confront them with my utility, then that's when they want to try to get, no, we had this, but when I had my echo flows, when I got them, I saw my bill go all the way down. It stayed down consecutive. When I talked to the Martin Luther King Center up here, they said these bills are not running no more than $100. I said, why am I with $1,200? See, so now we're fixing to bring the Congresswoman in so she can do what she needs to do to research this to get this off my back. This house behind me, that's a 2-story home. I'm in a 1-story home. That 2-story home, nobody lives in it. It's for sale. The lights stay on constantly. And they could have easily taken that bill to put it on to me and give that empty house a lesser bill. Nobody's living in it, so somebody got to pay the bill if you have it on day in and day out. My lights, I even bought the what kind of living flow light bulbs, and the ones I put outside, they dust the darn. I don't have to turn the lights off and on anymore. Just turn them on, and when it get dark, they come on. When it get light, they go off.
There's a sensor.
Okay, I bought the Everglow bulbs in the house. They only run $1.20 per year. So why am I looking at all of a sudden a $1,200 light bill? People, we better wake up. See, and we can't do anything about it when we don't know anything about it. We are not learning what we need to learn, and that's politics and religion, because religion is their policy.
And just think how many people lay down and accept what they say is gospel and taking advantage of them, and they're going to keep on doing it.
Okay. Oh, they got them brainwashed. I didn't never get hooked up like that. My grandmother told me when I was a little girl, because I had too many questions. I'm looking at these books, the white angels. And I asked my grandmother, where do we go when we die? We are not angels when we die. Something was wrong with that picture.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
blacks nowhere. But you got me reading this, and I'm not connecting with it because I don't see me there anywhere.
That's right.
That's why I loved it when Putin put it out there. I sure posted it. I sure did. For the whole world, because I'm all over the world. I posted it, and it's been coming out ever since. And this Abigail Lucy something, she's from over there in Africa. She's breaking it down on the Bible, too. She's breaking it down.
That's why they want to shut the internet down.
Hello.
And shut people on it down.
Hello.
But you know they're doing it in a way that is not so obvious to most people. See,
you know why? You know why?
Tell me.
Let me say this. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. I think you are. Curtis Mayfield.
Of course.
Curtis Mayfield had a song out. Come on now. Curtis Mayfield had a song out that we're educated fools coming from uneducated schools.
See that? But no, I had the albums. What was that? 1973 it came out.
Come on
I mean,
now.
I was a kid, but I used to, my parents, everybody, we all had the albums, the records, everything. See, you might have a few years on me, but I'm right on par with you.
Come on now. Stevie Wonder says superstitious writing written all over the wall. We had a message in our music. I told you this once before, didn't I?
Of course.
If it wasn't in the music, it was in the name of the artist. Maze.
When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer.
That's it.
They're
That's why
saying
we
it.
are still. That's right. Or
Look
you'll
at
lose
Earth, Wind,
your
and
life
Fire.
behind religion.
Look at Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Come on
All
now,
the
those
symbolism
elements
and
of the
words in
earth.
there. You know that
Elements
song,
of the
Written
earth.
in
And what
Stone?
they say, wait a minute, hold back up, hold up. What did Earth, Wind, and Fire say? A child is, wait a minute, I want to get it right. A child comes into this world, and it's not the child, it's the world that's putting on the child that makes the child go astray.
There you go. That's right. You ain't lying.
See,
But look what they have in
we
the
have to
music
learn
today.
this.
You see the kind of
We have
music
to
they have
learn this.
today?
And see, when they changed the frequency and the vibration, we came from loving one another to calling each other B's and H's.
Mm-hmm. We
That's
used to
when
respect our
everything
women.
shifted.
That's right.
That's when everything shifted. I wouldn't let that come in my house. I did not let them bring that kind of music in my house. That's disrespectful to me.
Right.
See,
And
we
you
have to
had you
learn
had
this
to
stuff.
go and sneak off and play Rudy Ray Moore and Richard Pryor and Red Fox. You
Come
couldn't
on
blast
now.
that out.
Come
We used to
on
have to go
now.
downstairs and sneak and listen to it, and we couldn't even say that's what we listened. What you down there listening to? Oh, nothing.
Go back to, I still watch them today. I still watch Red Fox. What's the name of that? Oh, the Red Fox one. Come on, him and Lamont.
Oh,
And
Sanford
then
and Son.
and then I watch the Good Times. Michael said way back that he took
Like Jesus.
the mama Jesus down and put the black Jesus up. we had it there. We had it there. And
Yep.
she confronted him about her religion, and he said, "But
But
Mama,
she had to
that's not
agree.
the right one."
Right.
We had a
She had to
message.
agree.
We had a message. I love me some Fred Sampson. That boy was tough too, and I just felt sorry for Richard Pryor because he just lost it. He started out
Yeah.
good till he got on no drugs, and then Nancy Reagan. That's when they brought the drugs in here, crack,
And,
and
yeah.
and that's
And she talking
when
about
she
just say
said,
no.
"Just say no to drugs." I said, "Well, you should say no, bringing it over here." See, but I didn't let it get me because I was always into the work program and stuff like that in school. I graduated. I could have graduated at ninth. I was done with school in the ninth grade. And my mother said, "What are you going to do now?" I said, "Who's going to hire me at this age? I'm going to keep going to school to keep getting educated." Because I found out the school that I came from wasn't teaching us what we was learning in the white schools. See, they weren't teaching us that. Our schooling was lined up with the Bible. It was lined up with the Bible. I come home in the evening time, my mother every day, she said, "What did you learn today?" I said, "Mama," I said, "they say we die." I said, "My teacher said we don't die, we evolve. Once you've been on this earth, your spirit stays here. It never leaves." Had me
Wow.
scared to go to a funeral. I still don't like them today.
Right. Me neither.
See, I like to know a person the way they was when they was up walking around. I don't want to see you laying down in no casket.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like they're putting you physically in the ground. It's like they burying your memory, your essence. Like that's
Thank
it.
you. That's
Like there's
it.
no more. To
That's
scare
it.
you just the way they buck broke the slaves on the plantation. They took the strongest, most powerful one and did things to him in front of the family, violated him in many ways, as you well know. Well, it's the same thing. They're gonna have a wake. A wake?
Mm-mm. Wait a
That's
minute.
putting you
Hold
to
on.
sleep. And you're
Let
supposed to
me
sit
really
there.
hit you. Let me
Yeah.
really hit you. We didn't pay attention again about that Bible. I said they had it in the wrong place. They showed where they crucified him, and then later on they showed where he was born. Now, come on now. We didn't connect the dots. How the death go come before the birth? We having Easter, and then after Easter, December, you having Christmas. Okay, they didn't tell you about that either. The reason why they do Christmas every year is because those stars are lined up in the sky like that. Now, I'm going to go back to saying about this total eclipse. Whatever eclipse they give us, that's when they do their dirty work. They got you distracted.
Well, that's why they lit up CERN on the day of the eclipse in Switzerland.
Okay.
So what's up with that? What's the timing with that?
Come on now. And another thing, they did not go to the moon.
That's obvious.
Because I was one of the astronauts came out. He was out there and he was talking about it. Now, if you send a rocket up in the sky, why does the rocket have to come back in the water? Why is it not coming back to the land?
True.
We've been had.
There's so much that we don't know about. And they're talking about Antarctica, how that's a place where people cannot go. There's so many secret things going on over there. You see?
I'm looking at back in when those astronauts went up in that spaceship, whatever it's called. It bursted in the air. And you had some black folks, young black folks in there. They rather tell you that and show you that when I like Billy Carson. He's showing you when they're on the moon how their shoes are and they can't be on the moon. They're not on no moon. You know why I say they're not going to no moon? Because that moon is in and out the portal of the sun. And if we can't get to the sun, you sure ain't getting to the moon.
I don't believe they had no technology for that. You know, and then to lift off in that little craft.
Come on now.
Lift off and break that gravity in that little craft. Then why do they have to bring that big one to have them go?
Television tells your vision a lie.
Like it's a little car.
Come on now. Like I say, if it's going up, it ought to come down on the land like it went up from the land. It's not. It's coming back in the water.
It's supposedly landed on the land up there. So right. So why couldn't it do it over here?
Come on now.
You know.
I can blame John F. Kennedy for that. I don't know what we're gonna do, y'all, because they're not taking our money. And brisket is they got it going on. They have it going on. Everybody wanted to get out of America. Then what is that going to do for us and what we're going to do? We done sent all the jobs overseas. And they done sit there and dissected it and used it against America. They thought they were so clever. You used to getting over. Right. I'm telling you, they thought they was clever, but they messed their own self up. And now they want to sanction Africa and all around that don't want to participate with them. I said, no, don't do it. Don't do it, y'all. I'll be talking to Lucy now. Don't do it. Don't do it. They are not for real. They full of shit. They full of shit. And excuse me for saying it that way, but they are. There was a preacher back in the day. I
wouldn't have you say it any other way.
It was a preacher back in the day, and that's when Obama and them went to his church. They put him out of business. He couldn't preach no more, so he had to sit down and let somebody else stand up to preach. He said, the chicken has come to roost. And that's where we are today. That's where we are today. I told you, 3 things you can't hide. Now, it shocked me when Putin came out there with that black Jesus. And Africa saying that they stole the Jesus from Africa. We're dealing with nothing but a bunch of crooks. Now, how are they going to run us? And if Trump, I'm not voting again. I don't vote for him. I didn't vote before. I didn't vote. I did not, because I told my mother, I don't know what y'all voting for. They not counting your votes. They're not. And when I went to school, I was
Put in
so
there who they
right.
want to put in there.
Huh?
They're gonna put in there who they want to put in there.
You better say that. You better say that. I'm looking at. We went from naked to out, and that's another thing. I asked my grandmother now. Okay, it was 4 people in the Garden of Eden. Can't nobody tell you where the Garden of Eden is either. It was 4 people, Adam, Eve, and those 2 sons. Now, when I got down reading that Bible, and I was having Bible study, and it said, now let us make man in our image. I asked the teacher, I said, okay, who is us? She sat there, she thought about it. And she said, well, you put too much into it. I said, I know how to comprehend what I read. Now, us mean more than one. Now, who is us? She tells me, oh, Jesus Christ was there with him all the time. I said, so you telling me God and Jesus is gay because God and a man can't make no baby? I said, come on, Verna, I have grandchildren running around here. You have children. I said, who made those babies? We made those babies. But I go there to say this. You go to Genesis 5, if I'm not mistaken, that's where it tells you every time she had a boy, she had a girl, but they never mention the girl's name. Not over there, not before you get to the 5th chapter. We're not reading that book. We're going off of what the master tells us. The preacher tells us what the master done taught him. I had a problem with the way they disrespected women. You can't say
That's
nothing.
what it is. Right. And then it brings us of life.
Mothership. You know what I said? My husband, when we was married, he's deceased. He worked on computers, and the company had gave him a computer, and he brought it in here. My grandkids was little. I said, baby, we got to do this because now we're fixing to go to computers. They're going to go to computers. They need to learn this from home. So when they get there, they'll be already up on it. Okay, and when he got down to the last of it, he said, baby, now I got to go get a motherboard. And I said, what did you say? He said, I have to go get a motherboard. I said, so we are nothing but computers. And everything comes from the mothership. We still have all of this. Right.
Motherland, mothership, motherboard.
Come on now. I learned back then that we are computers. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. That's all a computer is. It's unreal how they duped our people. I'm glad I didn't go out like that. Huh?
They put it right in your face so obvious.
And you're not supposed to catch it. And you're not supposed to catch it.
They get a thrill from that. Fooling you and deceiving you. And then putting it right in your face, and we can't put 2 and 2 together. And when we do now, we're a troublemaker.
Yep. And they are the ones. Oh, what are we going to do? This is where we have to get our humanity back. This is where we're going to have to get our humanity back. Because we need to take charge and stand up to them. But I know how they took this stuff just like they're doing over there now. This is my theory, and I may be wrong. My theory is to tear up over there so you can rebuild over there because you done corrupt over here, and then you're going to move over there. That's why they bring these people in here again. I have a problem with Biden telling the banks to not, for the Mexicans that's coming in here, for them not to deny them no credit at the bank. Give it to them. They ain't worked for nothing over here, and I'm using wrong English. They have not worked for anything here. And then they're around the world killing folks and stuff now, too. And taking our tax dollars, feeding them. And I'm mad at our governor because he's taking our tax dollars, shipping them all over the world.
Right.
We have homeless people here. We have hungry people here. We have people sleeping on the streets. I didn't realize how many that was out there until I started driving the dark bus. I did not know it. But half of them out there want to be out there because they'll talk noise to you. One of them was on my bus, and I done come to one end of the line to the other end of the line. I said, where are you getting off at, sir? Your job, as long as I got a pass, your job is to take me. I said, that is for you to transfer from one bus to the other bus, not to ride the same bus.
Yep, because they had nowhere to go. And they would pick the longest lines and ride all the time. And see, out in Orlando, they let them do it. They let them do it. Because they would get off the bus when you get to the station and turn around and come back on. Especially if they had a monthly pass. You see what I mean? So, you know, I
yes,
drove the bus for many years too. So I know. Yeah.
I know. See, it's all game. It's all game. I had one Chinese girl to get on with a white boy at this college. And she saw I was black. She decided she didn't want to pay. Okay, I told her I'll let you slide this time, but the next time you're going to pay, dear. I come back the next week, she's wanting to play the same game. I left her right out there. She calls in on me, and the supervisor tells me I need to go back and get her. I told her that's what I tell him. We had a word for it. I said that's not possible. 10-4. And he said, well, I don't know what we're going to do. I said, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm not going backwards. I'm over here at Forest Lane Station. I'm headed toward another city. So I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm not going back to get her. I warned her the day before, the week before, and she comes back doing the same thing. So I had to show her Fat Meat Greasy. Everywhere we go, we're hated. They have this stuff down packed. Well, I stands up for me, and I'm not doing it. I left her little Chinese butt standing on that counter, and the white boy said, come on, get on. And he said, you're not getting on? I closed that door behind his butt and left her there. I think the supervisor had to go get her to take her where she needed to go because Beverly wasn't doing it. I'll put him off my bus in a minute. If I couldn't, I'd get the damn transit to do it. I wasn't putting up with it. I had one guy get on my bus, and he couldn't make it past the driver's seat. You know, I know y'all bus is probably the same way ours was. You had a long seat behind the driver, and then you had one over there on the side of the driver, like coming on the bus. Okay?
Right.
He couldn't make it past that seat that you come up there. And he sat there, and he was just watching me. And he said something to me. I said, no, that's not it. You know what your problem is? He said, what is it? I said, you used to be riding the back. I used to have to ride the back of the bus. Now I'm driving this bus, and that's very problematic for you.
You're right. They got to be it.
See, that's the problem. And I started catching hell out of Dart after that. I didn't care. They asked me, where you from? I'm from right here in Dallas, Texas. See, where they lynched us. And they still doing it today. Nothing has changed. They suppress it. And I have a problem with these guns shooting in these schools. I told them that yesterday on the radio. I told them, I said, when I was younger coming up in my junior high school, I was scared to go to school. We had a police department within the school. I said, now I say that to say this. These shootings shouldn't be going on in these schools. It's not going on in there where their kids are learning. Put the police back in the schools where you don't have to wait on the police to get to the school. How about that? Doesn't that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Doesn't that make sense?
Big time.
You won't have all of this stuff because they be scared. Now I wonder how did these kids, this school in Wilma Hutchins, that boy was able to come in there and shoot these people down. they did a school out. I want to say blackout. They didn't go to school the next day or two. They want that stuff cleaned up. A child shouldn't have to go through that. That's what the tax dollars for. When I was in the 6th grade, that was when I first moved over with the white folks. And I wasn't bused. Busing came in the 70s. This was 60s, like 67, 68. And when I went to school one day and we had homework that evening, my mother said, "Beb, you don't have any homework?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Why aren't you doing it?" I said, "My teacher wouldn't let me bring my book home." She said, "Excuse you?" I said, "My teacher wouldn't let me bring my book home." Oh, what did I tell my mother that? What did I tell her that for? My mother got on to them, and the teacher told her the reason why we don't let them take the books home, she could lose it. My mama said, "So what? I paid taxes, and when I paid taxes to get that book and she loses, I still pay taxes. You give her another book, but you go send my baby books home so she can do her homework." I bet my books came home with me from then on out.
That's right.
They don't want you to learn this stuff. I had teachers in the classroom, "I got mine. I don't care if you get yours or not." See, they didn't. And they still don't today. Why you think they doing the vouchers here? They can't get it passed either. That's taken away from you again. They're going to teach them totally different. What I say that song was about, educated fools coming from your uneducated schools.
That's right.
That's why they're doing this. My
Mm-hmm.
mother made us get this education. She said because her teacher told them, "You better get this education because one day it's going to be gone." Well, we're looking at it. Religion gone and the books are gone. DeSantis for Florida, the governor of Florida, I told him on the radio one Saturday, I said, as we speak, he has a publisher now to change Rosa Parks' story. This is how they've been duking us. Changing our story.
Write us out of history. Make them look like saints.
Hello? When they the devil.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the preacher out there on the radio, I said, do you not think that you're worshiping Satan? Nothing godly about this stuff. And we are the gods and goddess. Mary said, remember Mary back in the day? When they put that out, they didn't put no more out. It's the God
Right.
in me.
Mm-hmm. But see, the thing is, it's their job to keep us from realizing that, and it's their job to keep us on a low vibration so we cannot be what we're
Who we are
supposed to be.
supposed to be. Exactly.
They keep us
I
watching these
said
social
that.
media platforms, and we just supposed to be bitches and hoes. You see,
Come
see
on now.
pimps and
You
players.
said it. I didn't. I said
Oh
being
no,
anxious. I was trying to be nice.
you ain't got to be nice. Look. You ain't got to be nice. Just be right.
Come on now. Come
That's
on
right.
now. That's when
Mm-hmm.
everything changed. Oh, that's when it all, because we loved it. And what's his name? Prince.
Curtis Mayfield. Oh, Prince.
Prince. You know, he had that tattoo on his face. He put that on there because they was racist. They wanted him to change his name from Prince. He said no, he wasn't changing no name. That was his birth name. And they done killed him too. If they didn't kill
Oh,
him,
of
they done
course
put him
they
on
did.
some heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Of course they
Prince
did.
would even
Because they
come
saw
out.
what was coming.
And who is that? Was that Prince? One of them. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think who it is. They wouldn't even come out. They kept. What was that? Oh, it's a lot of good history back there. It's a lot of good history. I loved it back there. I wrote out there the other day, Lance. I'm 68 years old, and I never thought I would see this day coming. We supposed to have this all cleared up. I told the preacher out there one Saturday, he plays that song, "We are the ones, we have to change this now." I said, that was back then. Why are we still playing that song today? Why are we still playing that song today when we should have been doing that back? Y'all should have did that back then. We shouldn't even be here. It's a whole bunch of crap, and they know it.
Mm-hmm.
You can sue the preacher for lying. You can sue the attorneys for malpractice. They got that insurance, y'all. They have the insurance. Don't sit here on your rights and not do nothing about it. I sure did tell that black guy that. And I made it where he couldn't come back on my radio, on my thing again. I unsubscribed him. I don't need you coming in here talking about what I know. You don't know me well enough to tell me what I know. I say you just a gatekeeper for the master to keep our black selves in line. That's what, to keep our people in line. That's what I told him.
Tell it.
That's what they do. Now, and I'm what you think about P. Diddy? And they kept showing him with what's this preacher name here?
T.D. Jakes.
Oh, what's that name of that preacher?
T.D.
Here?
Jakes.
They got him in trouble. They raided his house and what's this preacher name came in here? T.D. Jakes. You know, they booted him out where he.
Listen up, family. If you got this far in this show, that means you're enjoying it. And if you want to hear more, click the link in the description area below to listen to the rest. The reason being, it was too hot for most social media platforms. So you're going to have to go to that link and you're going to hear so much more because we said things and spoke about things that these platforms would definitely penalize me for. You know how it goes. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the show and I'll see you on the next one.
Make sure to go to LANCESCURV.com, an online magazine established in 2001, containing written articles, thousands of talk shows and discussions, cutting-edge cartoons, as well as erotic expressions and tasteful adult photography. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you get a taste of the world of LANCESCURV, trust me, you'll be back for more. LANCESCURV.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.